Okay, everybody. So, I have been asked what tools I use for my coloring and art general stuff. So I figured since I kind of use a lot of tools that I would just make a quick video about it. So I have doodled this head, and it's really quick and sketchy, but I basically just use a pen tool to fill in all the skin area, and pretty much all the areas I use the pen to fill in. And then I go in and I use a different skin tone. So I'm just going to use this one since it's really quick, since I'm just demonstrating it. And then I go over with the watercolor tool, and these are my, over here are my settings for it. My settings typically don't change. I pretty much keep them all the same. And this, I just brush it over, and I'm doing this like really quick because I don't want this to be a super long video. And use another color, and then I typically use the brush tool for my shading because it's not as harsh as the pen tool is. But I mean, you can pretty much use any tool you want for this step because I'm kind of just gonna blend over it anyways. So the tool that we use for this step isn't as important as it might be for the next steps. And then I just kind of go over it with the watercolor tool again. I'm just doing this really fast, really fast, so it's not great, but it'll kind of get the point across. Okay, so we have this, and this one is the brush tool again, and it's more important this time because this one I don't shade as much, so it kind of needs to be hard lines. Back to the watercolor tool. And that's basically what I use for the tools on this. I do use a transparency option sometimes to lighten up certain areas. And that's that little box underneath the color squares over here in this area. And you just hit that and it turns it transparent, and then you take it off and it goes back to color. So that is that. For highlighting and stuff, I typically use the airbrush, and here are my settings for the airbrush over here. And I set it to white for the highlights, and kind of just, you know, follow around. Simple stuff. And that's basically the extent of the tools that I use. Occasionally for clouds or something, I will use, let's do a light blue cloud. I'll use this crayon tool, and kind of go over it, and it's set on noise, so it's kind of fuzzy, and just kind of go over it. And for that, I'll sometimes put the watercolor tool on noise too, so it just kind of matches up. But that is basically what the tools are that I use, and the settings over here. And if you have any questions or want to see more in-depth the tools settings that I use, then you can let me know, and I will do screenshots of them for you guys. So I hope that was helpful to you. So thank you so much for watching.